Hello and welcome. We're Femme Noir. This show is all about women, specifically in film. We're going to review and analyze movies that are written by, directed by, or starring women, and we can't wait for you to join us. Tune in and listen wherever you listen to podcasts.
All right, let's take a minute and give it up for podcasts. Am I right? No, but seriously, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's literally the easiest way to make podcasts, so let me explain. 1, it's free. 2, it literally gives you all the tools you need in order to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer, which is amazing. Also, the best part, in my opinion, is that it'll distribute your podcast for you, so you can hear it on like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, literally anywhere you listen to podcasts. Pretty amazing, and you literally have to do nothing. The other thing is you can make money from your podcast. There's no like minimum listenership required, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, seriously, if you're like into podcasts and thinking about making one, I would check it out because it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So yeah, go ahead, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. What are you waiting for?
Welcome back, everyone, to an amazing and super special episode for season 3. To start off, we actually have a third host for this episode. Whitney, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello. My name is Whitney. I love screenwriting. I love producing. So when you hear me talking and reviewing movies with these guys, you're going to hear a lot of talking about the story, talking about behind the scenes, maybe some of the money things that go into it, contracts, just all the stuff that you don't typically hear about movies, because that stuff interests me. Like, that's what I want to know. I want to know what it took to make this movie, and I'm going to break down the story, because if you don't have a story, you don't have a movie.
We are big story
Period.
people here.
We are.
Priorities.
Yes.
So from this episode on, Whitney will be, hopefully I think we have another 3-person episode already recorded, and then Whitney will be a host along with Serena. Serena is now the only permanent host, and then myself, I will be in and out in some episodes. But this is also a very special episode because we are going to be reviewing the movie Don't Worry, Darling. Oh, the much anticipated drama bomb
The
of
intrigue.
2022. Yes.
The drama.
The most talked about
the
movie.
Mystery. What's so funny is I was like, guys, have you seen Don't Worry, Darling yet? Like at work? And everyone's like, no. And I was like, dude, the drama behind that movie, I was like, I had to see it immediately. And they were like, what drama? And I was like, stop. So then I literally pretty much spent this entire weekend explaining the whole Don't Worry drama.
I wish I was that unplugged. Oh, I know way too much.
I was like, bro, it's actually hilarious. Like, I can't.
Well, we can recap a little about it in the beginning. So the new structure of the podcast, which we mentioned in the last episode, is that, so we're changing these around a little bit. We're going to start each episode by talking about news, posts, and gossip that we saw in the news this week, either about the movie that we're reviewing or just other movies in general. Then we'll talk about things that we watched and things that we're really excited for that are coming out soon. Then we'll go into reviewing the movie and giving our thoughts, like always. We'll do our FMF, our Fuck, Marry, Friend Zone with the men of the movie. And then we will rate the movie and give you some recommendations based on whether or not you like this movie. So we can start off with the goss. We did. What other episode did we include gossip in?
Dude, I honestly, we've done. Oh shoot. We did talk about it in a movie.
I know.
I can't remember. I want to say it was probably not okay.
Dang,
I think it was.
For a hot second.
I want to say it was that one.
Okay.
But like, it's fine. When you try to be productive and then you actually end up being completely off of the cultural track. My timeline's like all messed up now.
I know. Well, if you wanted to recap some of the gossip, I know the highlights were just the Venice Was it Venice Film Festival? What film festival were they at?
Yeah, it was Venice.
Okay, yeah. That was
it was like
Harry spit on Chris Pine.
Oh yeah, you were saying something about like some PA made a TikTok or something.
Yes, that's how it started. It was a random, and I don't even think it was her that made the TikTok in looking for it. I think she submitted it to like a gossip TikToker, and the TikToker's gimmick is that they reenact the gossip, and so she funny. Reenacted what she said happened, and now it's coming out that all of it was true. And I'm like, some bitch squealed, and now this movie's gonna tank. It's crazy.
Was that like them having a screaming match on set or something?
Yes, because she talked about the PA allegedly
screaming in quotes.
Yeah, that the actress and the director were
like
screaming
they'll
at
always
each other.
say women are screaming at each other. I'm like, they probably were not actually screaming.
Oh, who knows? I wouldn't. Florence Pugh got some lungs. I wouldn't be shocked. And that the director was hanging out with the male star like a lot, and it's
Harry Styles. Well, yeah, they're fucking dating.
I know, but it's like, bitch, you're the director. Like,
yeah, it's like kind of unprofessional.
Yeah, like, so whatever.
Yeah, and like the whole Shia LaBeouf thing where he was supposed to be in it, and then apparently that stuff actually like was there. Like, I've been reading a few articles where it was like Olivia had invited or was like, yeah, like, we can't wait to have you on, we're super happy, blah blah blah, like sent him just like a little welcome video like to be a part of the cast, and then Florence was like, I'm not comfortable working with him, and like, you know, there's like issues and whatever. They had their own conversations where they were just kind of going back and forth, and like, you know, it was just kind of like super vague, you know, like she was kind of just like, okay, I have to talk to you, blah blah blah, and then he just like, I don't know, he's being a dude. He literally texts like every dude I've ever met.
Yeah, because the text leaked, right?
Yeah, they leaked the texts, and then so like he got fired from the job. Like, Olivia was like, oh, okay, well, he's not gonna work on this anymore, and fired him. And then he went out and was like, Olivia's lying, I did not get fired, I quit. And then it came out that like, no, he lied about that.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, apparently he lied about that, and
so
he did in fact get fired from it.
Okay, because last I heard was that he did quit because there was that whole video of Olivia begging him to stay.
Yeah,
there's a what? Okay, send that to me later.
It was like, yeah, like that video was taken like out of context, and apparently that was like a video that she had made before Florence had like expressed like discomfort.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. At least that's what I read in an article that came out yesterday. I think it was on NPR.
That was the most shocking thing to me about this movie. I was like, how the fuck were they gonna put Shia LaBeouf in this? Because it's like, we can talk all about how Harry is not a professional actor, obviously, but Shia LaBeouf would have made it worse. Like, I'll just say it. Like, I would not have liked him for 1 second, and I think the point is that you're supposed to think that the husband is innocent. But, you know, I would have been like, this bitch, like, you know, I would not have enjoyed it at all.
Like,
so,
I can't.
He is menacing. So, yeah.
It's like, dude, I think there was, like, articles or whatever where he's, like, with the whole, like, FKA Twigs thing where he's like, I've gone to, like a therapy, and I've done the work, and, like, I'm really sorry for all that I've done. But then it's like, dude, you're still lying about other women in the media. Like, you literally just lied about Olivia. Like, in a movie that just happened right now. So, like, I'm not sure how much I can believe you. But
you know what I saw, too? To add insult to injury? He said that Honey Boy wasn't even autobiographical.
Dude, yeah.
I was like,
I saw
point is that it was your life. And he was like, no, I just made that up. Okay.
So he's just an all-around liar.
He's
like pathological. I don't know. That's weird.
That's like a next level.
I mean, he's an actor, so...
So bad. Yeah, damn. I need to give him credit for acting.
That's so funny.
But he got me. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was like another thing. Oh, and people were like, oh, Harry Styles is getting paid more than Florence, which that one actually also ended up being a lie.
Oh, yeah.
They released it, and yeah, there's no discrepancy there. I thought it was interesting because the day it opened, everyone, like, the whole time was like, there's gotta be beef between Olivia and Florence because Florence hasn't posted anything about this movie.
Yeah.
And, like, the day it opened is, like, the only time I saw her post anything about the movie. And I was like,
Yeah.
ooh, interesting. And like the whole, you know, Spitgate, Chris Pine,
That
Harry
was
Styles
so
drama.
funny
That
to me
was
because
so
I still
stupid.
don't know what happened.
I know, I'm like, what? Just, like, he just like accidentally like hit a fly.
Like
what
sneeze
happened?
or something. Like,
Because it does look like he got spit on. And the whole. So, what's your favorite thing about this movie?
Oh no.
My favorite thing is that it feels like a movie.
you know what? Oh, you guys are gonna, feel free to burn me at the stake. My group chat is already hanging me for this. But I'm sorry to be the Harry Styles truther, but I honestly, hear me out, you guys. I understand what he meant.
No, okay,
I
I agree.
understand.
I agree with you.
Thank you.
But okay,
Thank
but I
you.
think it's gonna
It's
be
just
for a
such
different
funny
reason.
way to say it.
It was totally a stupid way to say it, and at the time I was like, what does he mean? I get it now, and I will elaborate. Like, remind me
It
when we get
feels
there,
like a
I
Yeah.
will
movie.
elaborate.
Same.
No, okay,
Okay,
and then
thank
like
you.
I
Thank you,
saw
Whitney.
so many posts after like the movie came out and people were like talking about it in the comments, and someone was like, "Don't worry, darling, came out today. I saw it. Wait for my review." And then someone commented, "They're like, ooh, I saw it today, and let me just say, it felt like a movie."
Yeah, I saw so many people say, he will
It's so
never
funny.
live that down.
That was so funny. Like, and Chris Pine's visceral reaction right next to him was so
Yeah.
That man was screaming internally.
Oh my god. I was like, this dude is literally just like that. Yeah, no. He is embodying how I feel every day. Yeah. So I think I covered all the
Well,
most of the
so-
gossip. Or did I miss
okay.
stuff?
I think we should talk about whether all of that drama was a marketing ploy or if it was
Oh.
real.
That's right, because I did. There was another
Good
thing where
point.
someone posted, and they were like, Olivia Wilde says that all of the drama surrounding "Don't Worry, Darling" is supposed to be like the point of the movie, where it's like, are you gonna accept things that like are around you already, or are you gonna question them and like find out the truth? And I was like,
I
I don't know if that's just what
Yeah,
they're saying now,
uh-uh.
or if you always meant that. Like, I can't.
The reason I think that it's not a marketing ploy is because this was months ago before, I don't even think the trailer had dropped,
Yeah.
the trailer hadn't dropped, and that's when I saw that TikTok, because I'm on Twitter, and people were passing it around and being like, because the way that they described it, we should like link the TikTok somewhere, the way that
Yeah.
it was described is like, female director, like, whatever, famous actress, and then the leading guy was former British boy band member, so
Stop.
it was like,
Like, we
bitch,
can't tell who that
obviously,
is.
right, and then, but then the
How many
person who
other-
leaked it, or the PA, someone else pointed out they have no agenda against the movie. Like, what is their
Mhm.
incentive? They're anonymous to this day. Like,
Yeah,
so it's
they're
like,
still getting paid.
so it's like, why? Like, this isn't like Olivia Wilde. Like, this is nobody associated with anybody associated with the movie. Literally, someone
Yeah.
hired just to work on the movie. Leaked this, is reaping no benefits. Like, it'd be different if that person came out and was like, "That was me," and is like getting money or something like that was
yeah.
happening. None of that is
Like,
happening.
no,
and
I
that's why
kind of actually
genuinely
believe
it.
this is like celebrities being celebrities.
I believe it.
So, okay, I think it's both. I think that it started off as kind of drama, and then some producer or some marketing agent was just like, oh, this might help the movie, and then they kind of like tested the waters with like other little
They just
bits
came
of
up
drama.
with the clickbait headlines and were like, ooh, you know what? This is probably a good headline for this, and then leaked it to the press.
Yeah, and then they just took like every little normal day thing that kind of happens with every movie, and then just spun it out of control.
Ooh,
Harry
I
Styles
see what you're
eats
saying.
cereal. Chris Pine is allergic to cereal. Is Harry Styles
my
trying
God.
to kill Chris Pine?
Yo, you should
Exactly.
work for them. That's pretty good. I'd be like, what?
That was so funny. Oh my god.
That's a good,
I think that's exactly what happened.
that's a
yeah.
good point.
Yeah, that's
I
probably
could see that.
that's fair.
Yeah.
They were like, oh well, we're not just gonna stop it because, like, I mean, people are now talking about the movie and it's trending.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, I did,
And
definitely...
it did top box offices this weekend.
It did.
Did
yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Which is interesting. And like, if I'm, because can I talk about, like, before going into the movie, things that I saw about the movie. I, like, saw pretty mixed reviews. Like, some people were like, it's not, like, bad. And I know they had, like, a script issue where they were like, yeah, there's, like, plot holes or something, and they're trying to, like, figure that out during filming. And then...
That explains a lot.
I know, right? But then, like, for some reason, the way people were talking about it, like, I thought that, like, Olivia had a hand in writing it. And then I watched the movie, and she has no writing credit at all. And so I was like, oh, so, like, you can't even blame her for that. That's crazy.
Well, actually, you might be able to, because I can't remember where I read this, but, well, I can't remember maybe, Whitney, you can fact check me if you know more about this, but, like, to get a writing credit, you need to have changed 40% of the script.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So there's a chance she did.
It's crazy, all the different rules when it comes to screenwriting. They have people who their whole job is to take pretty much like the 50 different copies of a script, go through each one, mark how much is original, how much has been changed, who made those changes, and then that way that's how they determine who gets the writing credit.
Wow.
And most of those jobs aren't paid. The people who's doing those, and it's not like PAs who are doing it. It's kind of like you volunteer to do this type of thing, and then
you're kidding.
And then it like benefits you in some other way. This is kind of stretching my memory a little bit, but yeah, I knew a guy. Well, I knew a guy who did it, and he said it was the most boring thing ever because you're essentially reading the same script 50 different times minimum, because you have to read each one through. Oh, yeah, no. And then you have to go back at least a second time. So like 100 times you're reading the same script just to mark up all the different changes.
Damn.
Dude.
That's a lot.
That's crazy. I did not know that.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Because you get paid. Damn. You get paid depending on which version of the script is used. And so if they're using a script written by like 5 different people, that's 5 different people they have to pay. So they're going to want to pay like the least amount of people possible.
That checks out, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's she crazy. Maybe had like something to do with the writing, but like they really made it seem like she wrote the whole thing and then was like, and I was like, oh, okay. 'Cause like, when I went to see it, I saw it on yesterday. Mm-hmm. Wow. Just yesterday?
Dude, you're telling me.
All right, so I saw it yesterday, and yesterday, right before I went to see it, I saw it like 6 something. I guess the Rotten Tomatoes score came out, and it was like 36% rotten.
Wow. Yeah, it's
and I was like,
low.
oof.
The audience score is
really
almost
bad.
90, though.
Yeah, and then I was like, yeah, because when I was in the movie and like we finished the movie, so many people were like, OMG, I love this movie, that was great, blah blah blah, and I was like, interesting. But like I was like, wait, that's crazy. There's so many mixed reviews right now, and even like critically, like there's still like mixed reviews, but not necessarily like for the movie like as a whole and like the story or whatever, but just like as it being her second movie.
Oh yeah.
No.
And I was like, okay, I like, because I can kind of see like what they meant, because a lot of the stuff they were saying were like the same thoughts that I had, and I was like, okay, that's interesting.
Do you guys just want to bypass things that we watched, or is there any notable things you want to mention, things that are coming out, or we can just go straight into talking about this movie?
We will review The Woman King at some point.
Yes.
But spoiler alert, freaking loved it.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I wanted to say.
I'm not gonna lie, I was gonna try to catch a matinee of that one too.
Dude.
But
literally I'll watch it
again
with you. Like, I am obsessed. Okay. Gina Prince by the Wood has done it again.
She got me by the neck.
And like the Old Guard 2 is coming out. This is perfect timing. I'm so happy.
Okay, so if you want to just go straight into, so you were talking about plot holes and that kind of stuff. If you want to go
initial
into
thoughts.
talking about the movie.
Thoughts.
Oh, yes. That's a good idea. You guys
Whitney, you
first.
Sorry. I was looking over my notes. What are we doing?
Initial thoughts.
Oh, okay. Initial thoughts. Oh, that's so hard. So my just going in before seeing anything,
Hmm.
before hearing anything, I first heard about this movie in a trailer on a different movie. I can't even remember which movie it was. Probably Top Gun, to be honest. Um,
No way. That's funny.
uh, and I saw the trailer and I was hooked. I said, "All right, I want to see it. That looks great." And then all the drama came out, and I'm like, "Ooh, maybe not," because it sounds like a dumpster fire. And then finally, the reactions from the Venice Film Festival came back, and they're like, "It sucks." And like, okay,
That's what I heard,
now I
Yeah.
have to see it
Yeah.
because
yeah. Exactly.
I was
because
like, does
now
it
when you
really? Or is that
yeah
just because of, like, the press?
yeah because of all the drama and Hollywood turning in on itself as it
Hmm.
usually does. So after I watched the movie, um, it it was a movie.
Goodbye. How many times are we gonna say that, dude?
It was a
Okay,
movie.
it and
Don't
you
worry,
know
darling,
why?
it's a movie.
Oh
Perfect, perfect.
I'm so sorry.
no.
And the reason that I think it was a movie was because it was just so painfully mediocre.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
And I immediately pinpointed, like, what it was. Like, while I was sitting there, and I was like, oh. I was like, this makes sense. Because I watched it, and I was like, like, I was kind of like, okay, I heard some things about Harry Styles' acting being bad. And I was like, yeah, he kind of looks like his eyes just have nothing going on.
Yeah.
Like, his body was doing the
Yeah.
motions and his voice was doing the thing, but, like, his eyes were just, like, not in it. There was one scene where he's, like, crying in the car after she's getting, like, pulled away. And he's like, I'm sorry, I'm
Oh.
sorry, I'm sorry. That was, like, the one scene I was like, oh, he actually did pretty good in that one. The other ones I was like, you can, like, ignore it and it's fine. Florence Pugh, oh, freaking A. She carried this
Amazing.
movie.
She's
And, like,
amazing.
and I was kind of like, the only problem with the movie is that, like, it basically, we already know that it's going to be this premise of, like, something is terribly wrong, like, something terrible is happening, like, And so I feel like they spent so much time trying to, like, get the audience to feel the, like, something is really wrong here, and they did all the cool, like, fun tricks and, like, spooky things that, like, are super suspenseful and all of that stuff, and then they never answered the, like, the why are we doing these terrible
Yeah.
things. They just kind of answered, like, oh, we're doing these terrible
Well,
things, and this is, like, you figured it out, we've done the thing and it's bad, and now she's gonna escape. But they didn't really go into they really rushed the, like, why, and they left it a lot up to just, like, the audience to fill in. And I was kind of disappointed there because, like, to be honest, up until the twist or whatever, like, the big reveal, like, I don't know what it was, like, it wasn't bad. Like, I was like, intrigued, and I was like, okay, cool, like, what's gonna happen? I wonder what's gonna happen. And then, like, that happened, and I was like, I get what they were trying to do, but yeah, it was super rushed. It's honestly kind of, it made me feel a little bit kind of like watching Wonder Woman 2.
Ooh,
Uh,
interesting.
How, like, the ending, I was just like, why would they it's like they tried to put in a little bit of, like, wokeness or something, and it was like, I don't know, man. It wasn't as poignant. Like, it was like, it could have been deep, but it wasn't, because the things that you did as suspense, like cracking of the eggs, the whole, the pushing in on the wall, like, all of that stuff should have been directly connected to the stuff that was happening in real life, and, like, the actual pressures of, like, men being like, oh no, I don't like that my wife or girlfriend or whatever, like, is, like, a working woman or, like, makes money, and just, like, I have to, like, be this, like super insecure dude, and I'm not making money, and, like, she expects me to cook. That's not my job, that's her job, kind of a thing. Like, they really showed that in, like, 2 scenes, but it's like they could have
Yeah.
done a little bit more within just, like, the breadcrumbs of, these are really creepy things that are happening, to really drive the point home, but, like, none of them had anything to do with what was actually happening and, like, going wrong. except for gaslighting her. Like, that was it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. Like, like if they had done that, the movie would have been like a lot better. But yeah, it just fell a little short.
Were you gonna say something earlier, Whitney? I was kind of interested.
Oh, I was just gonna expand upon something later. I don't want to interrupt. But now I forgot because I started agreeing with everything.
I know there was something Serena said, and you were like, "Well," and I was like, "Ooh," but
Yeah.
I forgot what it was.
I don't even remember what I said.
I'll
I
probably
just said it.
probably hit upon it. I'll probably hit upon it later when we're talking about the movie.
Okay, no worries. I think honestly, so my first impression was I liked it a scary amount. I was sitting in that theater getting chills, getting freaked out, jumping. Like, I was really into it. And honestly, yeah, the one drawback was like Harry Styles. Like, he really, I was just like, God damn it. Like, he's so bad at acting.
It's not good.
Like, it's really bad.
I do think there are worse people that have gone from like something else to acting. Like, I think John Cena could have been worse.
Oh.
Yeah, it's true.
You know?
He's really
no
good.
offense
Him
to
and
like
what's the
Cara
other one?
Delevingne, but like I don't think she's
Batista?
good
He's
either.
But I think what really won me over, because all the criticisms and narrative criticisms, they're all true. There are definitely plot holes.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's like it's kind of like top heavy. Like it's not really
Yeah.
evenly balanced and that kind of stuff. I think what really won me over. Well,
I
first of
wanted
all, the sound design
Dude,
slapped
it's so
super
good.
hard. The breathing, that sort of stuff really helped build suspense, and it felt unique. Like,
Yeah.
it's memorable. You know, not a lot of movies would do something like very bad and ordinary.
Stylistically,
gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Is the fact that it is a spectacle, and that's
Yeah.
why I think, and
Yeah.
they leaned heavy into that, and that's why I feel like I get when he was like, it feels like a movie, because, and I looked it up, this is a mid-budget movie. It's $35 million, but when you think about it, it's not very like grandiose. It's like very limited sets. Like, it's really just her house, the front yard, Chris Pine's house. It's like not a lot of
it's just a bunch
characters.
of
It's a
people's
very
houses.
limited cast.
Yeah.
It's not, there's not a lot of green screen, there's not a lot of visual effect, but they were able to use that money to be stylish in ways that like it's impressionable. And I feel like there's so many scenes, outfits that she wore, you know, like the cars being in scene, things that you can't
the
do
things
on
that
a
were like
smaller
kind of
budget.
anachronistic.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like movies used to be like that. They used to be very simple, very few characters, very easy plots with $50 million, so they looked good.
Yeah.
You would remember how it looked. Movies don't look like that anymore, and so that's why I feel like I agree with him when he's like, it looks like a movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know what he means, because it's a very simple plot, but it's style. It's you know,
like
it is impactful.
Like
I was impressed.
if we were gonna say like just purely based off of the directing of the movie, like it was done actually pretty well.
I
like
think
the
so,
only thing
too.
wrong with the movie is the story and Harry Styles' acting. Like
Yeah,
those
and
are the
the
only
thing,
two things
too-
wrong. Like they had everything else. And that's probably why most, like, I feel like that actually might be why people are like more disappointed, is because there's only those two things that like didn't work for it.
Yeah,
But it's such a big thing.
I know. The thing is too is like, and I've said this before, it's like I enjoy when movies are trying to like say something, even if it's not fully like on, you know. That's the problem with this movie, is I totally fuck with the vision. Like, I
know.
totally can see what they were trying to do. This could have been it. Like, I totally see it, but it just wasn't quite there. But I really liked what they were going for. So that's another thing that really won me over, is I was like, I totally get it. But it's like, if you get it, you get
like,
it.
I see
If
what
you
you
don't,
were
you
gonna
don't.
do. I know.
Yeah.
Like, part of me actually wishes that this was like a limited series or something, like television wise, because they could have had the time to like dive into all of those things and like not have to fit it into, you know, movie length, which is getting longer and longer. But even then, I still don't think like if this was a 3-hour movie that it would have, like, I feel like it would have been better told with like in an
Spaced out.
episodic way.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind if it was a TV show, especially if it meant we could see more of like the real world and
Dude.
not just the
Yeah,
the
like, what is this world?
50s.
I was so interested. I was like, wait, so, because like I was very interested in the like, okay, so this is like an alternate reality thing. Like none of this is real and you're trapped here, but like what is it that you're trapped in? And so like I thought maybe it was like she was being drugged and it was like all like a weird like coma hallucination thing. And then I was like, oh, it's like a software like video game thing. And I was like, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like some dude that created it and they're like, oh, we're gonna change the world, this is our world now. Like that has so much potential, and I like really would love to see more, to be honest. Like if they did make a sequel, I would watch it and I would probably enjoy it.
I
don't think they're going to, but
I think they were setting it up. I think they were hoping for a sequel, especially with the ending with Chris Pine's wife.
Dude, yeah,
that was weird.
I did actually like a little bit of that, because it was kind of like, oh my gosh, like I'm trapped here, and then like, oh my god, they could have gone into like Olivia Wilde's character, and now she was like, no, I chose this because it's the only way to be with my kids. Like, bro, dude. It could have been so good.
But that's the thing, is I like that they didn't, but that's just me being like cynical, and I love open-ended stuff, and so I like that I can just imagine how fucked up it is, because if you think about it, it's like yeah, she lost her kids, whatever, but in this imaginary world she like hates her kids, so it's just like,
I know,
so,
I was like, didn't you not like them that much? But then I was like,
yeah,
well...
so but I like that I can kind of fill in those blanks, and I like that. Yeah, I it would have been cooler to see a lot more of like the flashback, like the pre.
Yeah.
And I
like it would
that
be
had
such a
been
good
introduced
freaking
earlier.
TV show.
And I will say that those were Harry Styles' best scenes, and I was like, why is he at his best when he's like an incel guy? Like, it was,
dude,
like,
they really made him actually look unattractive. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I was like, ew.
I know. The girls
okay.
next to me said that.
My biggest question about the real world, though, is how is Florence Pugh a surgeon, and they're living in like an apartment that is literally a shoebox?
I know.
Maybe they're
like,
in New
where
York.
was the money going?
Oh.
Yeah.
Or like maybe it's set in like a little bit future.
But then, well,
like,
and then I
where
started
just
thinking about
economy
it.
Sucks. I don't know.
I started thinking about it, and
Don't
Harry
do that,
Styles.
Whitney.
Don't think about a movie. Oh.
Don't think about it.
But then I started thinking about Harry Styles. And if he's like really some type of weird incel, like maybe he's just blowing all of their money.
Yeah, on this stupid video game thing.
Yeah.
He's like, I have to leave here every day so that I can make enough money to keep us here. And I was like, okay.
That shit was wild. That's the thing.
That was crazy.
Oh, I love the premise. I thought it was so good.
I know,
it was
the premise
creepy.
is so
It was, like,
cool.
Dude.
Like, I just want, like, I want more, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but
I'm not
like
satisfied.
It's funny because like I said that once with my sister. I remember we were talking about Birds of Prey, and she was like, they could have done so much more with Huntress, and like maybe another character. And she's like, there just wasn't enough. They should have put her in there more. Like, I wanted to see more. And I was like, if you wanted to see more, then this movie was successful. Like, that is a successful, completed movie. If it left
at
you,
least
like,
as far as like
Yeah.
franchises go, hell yeah.
They planned to have more Birds of Prey. Like,
yeah, I was like, didn't they plan on that?
Yeah, they planned on doing one for essentially each of the girls.
Yeah.
Dude.
That's why they had to change the name, was because originally it was
Harley Quinn or something.
yeah, like the amazing start of Harley Quinn or something. It was a pretty long title, and no one was actually calling it that.
The Emancipation of Harley Quinn. Is that
Yeah,
what it is?
something like that. And then because no one was calling it that and everyone just knew it as pretty much Birds of Prey or as Harley Quinn, they changed it to Birds of Prey, Harley Quinn. And then they were going to do like Birds of Prey Huntress and then Birds of Prey, all the other girls.
Dude.
I didn't know they had that much money. That's crazy.
Well, they're not doing it anymore. Not after they killed Batgirl.
Oh, don't remind me. Oh, stop. You're so right. We can't have shit in this house.
Speaking of
Also, I think even before Batgirl, I think it just didn't earn as much money as they were hoping it would.
Which is really stupid, because then they made Suicide Squad again. And everyone's like, we love Harley Quinn.
So that's just pure catering to the
That literally made me
fanboys.
so angry.
Yeah, because
I'm seething.
the fanboys complained about Harley Quinn. It didn't make as much money as they wanted, so they're like, all right, if we want to keep earning money and we want to appease our main audience, we're gonna cater to the fanboys.
Like, they literally, like, no, actually, John Cena is gonna be so much more interesting
Yeah.
than, like, seriously? Are you joking?
Was the Suicide Squad rated R?
I
Yeah,
think so, yeah.
Oh, okay. And it made more money? God damn it.
yeah.
Well, then they made, like, spin-offs from it, too. Like, the Peacemaker movie, which is literally just starring John
TV
Cena.
show.
And it's just
Okay,
like,
that one's
bro.
actually kind of good though.
It was?
Yeah, it's entertaining. It's
Whoa.
not. It's not good in a lot of aspects, but it's certainly entertaining.
Interesting.
That's fair.
I did
On the
not know
bright
that.
side, the Harley Quinn cartoon is doing really well.
I fucking love that.
Like,
Yeah,
it's so good.
yeah. I binged every episode as soon as it came out.
Yeah.
So
no,
maybe
I
not
just,
binge,
like,
but I
keep
watched
putting
it.
on. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess, like, yeah, it's like if this was gonna be a franchise thing, don't worry, darling. Like, I feel like they set it up really well. I just kind of wish that we did get a little bit more of, like, the story of, like, why, just so that we could, as an audience, be like, oh, okay, so they're like kind of like Snowpiercer, you know, where it's like, you know, what the, like, why they're doing what they're doing and, like, what's wrong and what's happening, and then they do all the fighting and they, like, escape, and or they escape or don't escape, like, we don't know, it's still open-ended, but, like, you still understand the, like, morals of the story. Like, I just feel like they could have done that better in this one.
I feel like, honestly,
Just,
though,
like, the moral part of, like, okay, like, they hinted at it, and, like, if you go back and watch it, like, it's still, like, the only times you can get it is from, like, Chris Pine, maybe, like, a little bit, when he's talking about, like, this is our world, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, getting major frat boy vibes, which makes sense, because these incels would be the kind of guys that would, you know, participate in hazing rituals and stuff like that. And, like, they did do hazing, but I was just like,
Yeah.
the
I
fact
felt
that
like
it was set
pretty
in the 50s,
straightforward.
and they, like, I was like, yeah, of course this would happen in the 50s. Like, that's what the 50s was.
I feel like Snowpiercer was a more complicated story, and so that's why they kind of needed to, like, simplify things, but I feel like this one wasn't very complicated. Did you think? Like, I doubt I would run into someone who, like, misunderstood it completely. I feel like it was pretty...
I
I just feel like it
agree.
wasn't very nuanced.
I
Like, it
I
was-
think it was I think it was straightforward. I just think it had too many storylines so that nothing could be explained properly.
Yeah.
But
There's too
overall
many open ends.
overall it got to the main point, and I'm remembering what I was going to say earlier. Which is the movie the whole movie, the whole point of the movie is about controlling women and men controlling women.
Yeah.
And because of that, I think, like, despite how good I might end up liking, or how much I might end up liking this movie, I think it's gonna be a red flag movie for me if a guy ever told me it was one of his favorite movies.
Really?
Yeah, it's a little too close to The Matrix.
Yeah, okay, I thought about
And
that too.
and if a guy tells me that he likes this movie, all I'm gonna imagine is just his wish to be in control of every aspect of a woman in her
Yeah.
life.
Wait, but this movie is, like, not... This movie is about her being free of that, so wouldn't that mean
It's
that
her
he likes
breaking
when women are
free from the
free?
men's control, though.
Yeah, and Fight Club was about not being capitalistic and destroying everything, but, like,
Yeah.
the fans don't get the fanboys don't get that one either. They're like, I want to be just
Yeah.
like Brad Pitt in this movie, and we're like,
First
of all,
Yeah,
it
see,
wasn't
I
real.
think the guys are just gonna misinterpret the movie, because it's basically, it's like MK Ultra meets The Village, or
yeah.
I wanna give
like The
guys more
Matrix
credit.
versus the 50s cult. I don't know. I don't
Dang.
know, because so a lot of the women that I know who are seeing it because they like Harry Styles, they like Florence Pugh, they are following the drama that's going around it, or because, you know, it's women directed, starring a woman, and so they're seeing it for those aspects. And then they're going to come out of the movie and they're going to have much, in my opinion, in my assumptions, they're going to have much the same feelings that we're having right now. But I think guys are going to see this movie. And I might be making too broad of a generalization. I might be misinterpreting their feelings, but
cynical.
Yeah, I may be a little too cynical
right here.
Exactly, but I think they're going to come out of the movie and they're going to think that like that's the ideal life, that's what they want to do. They're going to see that and they're like, oh, if I can control a woman like that, if I could have the perfect life like that, that'd be great.
Damn, Whitney, you're scaring me now.
Yeah, I don't want to believe that that's true.
Because I mean, like you're right. Like people, like there was an entire fan base of The Boys, the TV show that is literally about like how superhero culture and like how toxic it is and everything.
Yeah.
And it's like a satire of like all of that. And yeah, like they have a character and they're like, okay, obviously this guy's a bad guy, and they literally spell it out for you. Like it's not subtle at all. And yet somehow they have an entire fan base that's completely missed the point.
Is it what's his name?
Homelander?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we like Homelander. And we're like, bro, he's literally the villain. Like they don't even make you think that he's an actual hero. Like they literally tell you that he's evil. Like I
don't know. Haven't
plot.
you guys ever liked villains before? Like,
no, but like
I've only liked
he
one
literally
villain.
is a Nazi. Like he literally
really
is a Nazi.
What is this show about?
Literally, okay. He like literally. Oh my god. The like, I think it's the second season. It comes is when he basically is like, oh, I need to like be the best superhero or whatever, and in order to do that I have to be the most powerful and like nobody can kill me, blah blah blah. And then he ends up finding another superhero, and they end up like screwing and having a weird relationship, and she's all like super like loud and angry about like the government and like press and everything, to where like people really like her. They're like, oh, she tells us the truth, she's basically like a female Trump. And then it comes out that she in fact was like part of the Nazi party and like one of the founders of the company that like owns all of the superheroes basically. And like they're screwing, and he literally is like, oh, okay, so we're just like partners now. Like literally. And yeah, so like, and
so, wait,
people were like,
does
no,
this
but
show
like
take
he's a
place in
good
the
guy
50s?
No, it's like a futuristic like thing where like she's a superhero, she can't die, she's just like really old.
They're immortal?
Well, she is. Well, she isn't, but like she had like a regenerative property that was allowing her to,
like Wolverine.
yeah, you know.
Interesting.
Anyway, spoilers if you haven't watched The Boys.
Okay, whatever.
It's
Maybe
a
I shouldn't
good
have
show.
Rushed in to defend the
You should
Nazi
watch
called
it.
Homelander, but I don't know.
But yeah,
I wanna
so
give
it's
people
like,
benefit of the
dude,
doubt, is
there's
what I'm
literally a Nazi superhero that wears like, he's literally like alt-right, like he's the embodiment of like capital rioters, and people were like, oh, but like he's cool, and we're like, dude, the entire point of the show is that he's evil and no one should have that much power.
Dang. I wish I could understand this, but I really don't want to watch the show, so I'm like, ugh, I guess
Dude.
I have to just trust you.
No, oh my god, Vic, you would love this show.
You're
like
kidding
if you
me.
like Fight Club, and I know you do, you would love The Boys.
I love Fight Club.
Yeah, no, you
I
would
don't know.
love The Boys. Like it's so funny. You would.
I heard like
yeah.
mixed reviews. I was like,
No,
I
you
don't
would love
know.
it. You
it
would
seems
love
like
it.
it's for the boys.
You would love it.
Okay, maybe I'll watch one episode, and I'll tell you what I think.
You would, yeah. Well, because I feel like it also has a lot. Like you don't like the whole like Marvel thing, and it's very much like against the like capitalization of like capitalization. That's a word. Yeah, capitalization of like the Marvel and like franchise, and like it's basically like, oh, if we had superheroes, what would happen if they were corporately owned, and like. So basically, like, if they weren't run by a single government, but if it was, like, a capitalist thing. And so it's really interesting. I feel like you really would like it.
If only I watched TV.
Oh, so good. Yeah, I know. Dang, watch some TV.
I know.
But yeah, if they can misinterpret the boys, they could definitely misinterpret this.
Yeah.
I mean, men really be out here thinking that, like... Have you seen those memes where it's like, how did she get her hair to start growing from a different side of her head because they don't understand a part?
No.
Like, some girl, like, parted her hair, and she was, like, a celebrity, and she had one picture where her bangs were, like, on one side, and then, like, another picture where it's on the other side, and they're, like, literally explain. Like, they...
What?
Are you sure it wasn't a joke?
No, because these are the same guys that are, like, that think that, like, no makeup is, like, how we actually look, too. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Not to be man-hating, but, like... But, yeah, I can see, like, all of that. That's sad.
Once again, like, the movie itself, it's not bad.
Yeah.
But I think if a girl tells me it's her favorite movie, I would definitely be interested in why. And it's most likely because, you know, it's...
I'd be like, watch other movies.
She's probably going to say, you know, it's for one of the actors, or because, you know, the story is about a woman breaking free, right? Yeah. But if a guy says it, I feel like it just takes a different context.
I think the other thing is there isn't enough, like, catharsis. Because it's like all of the women are being held hostage there, and you only get Florence and the one chick from Eternals. What is her name?
I know who you're talking about. I forgot her name.
Is it Gemma?
Chris Pine's wife.
Yeah.
Gemma Chan? Is that?
Yeah, I think so. Wow, your knowledge.
I think it's Gemma Chan. I hope.
Let's go.
That is what it is.
I'm pretty sure.
But yeah, and like her character where she like stabs him, which I honestly was like, that was a nice touch. I wish we got that from like the other woman. Just like a little bit. Because it was like, oh, if they did have like a thought of like what was happening, like it would have been a little bit more interesting, I think, if they did like the Handmaid's Tale thing where it was like, okay, this thing is really bad and, you know, we're trapped here, but we're not completely clueless. Like we figured out a little bit. So how are we going to band together and still like convince them that we're not doing things like this? Like that probably would have been a better route, I think. At least for like the second half, you know? Like once she figures it out, like that should have been the second half of like finding out if there's other people that do in fact know, instead of just like she literally did not do anything. She just went, "Oh my gosh, this is crazy." And I went, "This is literally insane. I can't believe this."
I think I'm
and then
looking
didn't
at it
do
through
anything.
a different like framework. Like I'm kind of viewing it as like, because to me I was like, this is kind of a thriller, suspense, mystery. And I think that having that anywhere in the movie would have just diluted those elements completely. Like, for her to not only figure it out, but recruit other people, and then fight back and win, I think would make the movie almost completely worthless. Honestly, like, there would be just no value to the story, I think. Like, because of what it was already, like, what it was offering, I think that there just wasn't much besides the fact that it is a suspense thriller mystery. Yeah. And those specific things would have just robbed it of those, and it would have what would have been left? Like it would have been very bare bones. They would have still had the visuals and the aesthetics, but it would not have been enough to, at least for me, to still be interested the way that I am. Like they really held my attention by making it a mystery up until the last second.
I guess like it's just that one part where she's talking to Olivia in the bathroom and they're like surrounded by the mirrors, and she goes like, she says something that like lets her in on the fact that like she knows about everything that's happening. Like that would have been a great moment to like take the turn of like, OMG, like there's other people that know about this, because like trying to figure out if there's other people that know about it, but while trying to not be found out and like pretending that you are still brainwashed is like super suspenseful, you know? Like they could have played that into the suspense. Know. Like have you, I
don't know if it was, because I think, cause to me in that moment it was like, now she has no friends, you know? It added to like, it amped the stakes more for me. It was like, oh, now she doesn't have her best friend, now she doesn't have any resources, now she's really, you know? So it was kind of, it was still, like you said, it was very unevenly paced. So definitely in terms of building the suspense, it could have been a lot quicker and it could have been a lot more concise, because at that point I feel like they were still trying to build that initial suspense. But I think that taking that away, it would have like slowed it like beyond repair. Like they could not have come back from that. I don't know how they would have had to change the entire ending, like to make it exciting enough after that. Like if that had happened, if she had recruited Olivia in that moment, they would have had
not like
really
recruited her, but just been like, what do you know? Because then they're both like trying to figure out who knows what and how much do they each know and what's the agenda of each other, without actually
I think
there's a lot of
they could have done it
there.
I think they could have. So
yeah, like instead it would have been more like spy suspense instead of like,
yeah, exactly. They could
have
done
it with
it.
the visuals and everything. You can make it like thriller suspenseful.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I think they could have done it, but
like,
the problem is
like
it wouldn't be. It would have to change genres.
Yeah. Yeah. It would have
but
to
also
completely
like
change genres.
Like what is this technically? What is the genre of this?
Should I look it up?
Mystery thriller.
Mystery thriller.
Yeah.
How is it a mystery if you already know what the mystery is?
Well, that's the thing. I see. It's not. It does have a twist. The mystery isn't what you think it is, because everyone goes in thinking it's the brainwashing, right? And it's not brainwashing. It's essentially like The Sims. It's a video game.
Yeah.
But like it is brainwashing.
Yeah, I mean it's not brainwashing.
Yeah,
it's literally just
originally that they're people, but they're not people. They're
suspense.
programs.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
just suspense.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, it would take away the suspense. There's nothing left.
Oh,
like,
no. I don't think so. I think it would have added a lot more suspense to me.
Because to me, like, a friend is safety. And when I think that character is safe, I'm not interested. Maybe I'm just picky.
But, like,
maybe I'm crazy.
I don't think she would have felt safe, like, in that moment. Because she would have been like, okay, so, like, you've known about this the whole time, and you've just let me be like this.
No, I'm not
and now
talking
you're
about, like, how she would feel.
And trying to make me feel like I'm crazy. But you just admitted that, like, you have known about this and, like, we're all just lying to each other. Like, I would, like, she'd be, like, betrayed, you know?
I'm not talking about how she would feel. I'm talking about how I would feel. Like, because someone else knows about her, I'm thinking the main character is safe. You know what I mean? Like, so
I'd be like, she's in danger.
I see, that's the thing. I wouldn't. I think, but you know this about me, is, like, I like it when shit gets crazy. We've talked about this before. I like it when shit goes all the way and gets super crazy. And to me, that would not have been crazy enough. Like, I think it was crazy that what they did in this movie. Not like, you know, the best movie ever, but I think that in order to build the suspense, I think it was necessary to do it.
Well, I don't think anything would have changed. Like, she probably would have just been like, oh my god, like, she thinks this or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then she still would have told, Chris Pine or whatever, and like Chris Pine, like the whole dinner scene would have still happened. She would have still been like, oh no, let's go away. And then Harry Styles' character would have been like, oh okay, well I'm just gonna like turn you in because this obviously isn't going away and I'm so sorry and I'm in love with you, blah blah blah.
What if like Olivia Wilde instead just tipped her hand way in the beginning of the movie? And then you have the suspense of Florence Pugh wondering, is she in on it? Is she not in on it?
I know.
What's going on? Because then you could build the pressure of, like,
and then that other chick that was like, oh, well, my husband keeps making it seem like it's like they're building weapons or something. Like, just the, like, the unknowing of everybody trying to speculate against each other would have been so good. Like, speculating, but then also trying to, like, gain each other's trust so that they can get their own, like, bro, that would have been amazing.
Dang, you guys are on a different wavelength. I wish I could see what you guys are seeing. Dang.
Just give me the script and I'll just write it a little bit better. Okay?
Yeah.
Oh my god. The vision is there. Like,
I
and like,
know,
I
the
honestly,
fact that both you guys are thinking the same thing, I'm like, okay, there's something. There's something there.
Because you're just playing on the tension of trust, because it's you know, she's trying to figure out, can I trust my husband or not, right? And now not only does she have to figure out can she trust her husband, she has to figure out can she trust her friends too, especially after all of them kind of turn their back on that the first woman.
Yeah.
With the kid who lost her kid.
Those hallucinations did not make sense.
Yeah, I don't know about those.
I was like,
I didn't.
I thought they were pretty cool.
Yeah, they were like really neat, but they don't make sense.
Yeah.
I was like, they were really spooky and scary, but I was like, how is she having these like visions or whatever? Like, if it's a video game.
Well, it's not, because that's where the brainwashing comes in. Is those images were what was brainwashing her, what was kind of like keeping her in the video game.
The ballerinas, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh no, I meant the like her seeing the lady.
That's
like,
what I was thinking. That one
like,
didn't. I was
huh?
like,
oh,
okay,
I don't think
she in the Matrix.
I don't think she saw those. I think that was just pure cinematography, pure like suspense building.
Yeah,
Fuck
I was
yeah.
like, this is dumb.
I think it's dope.
I was like, it looked really, really sick. Like, especially when she was in the bath and she like goes into the water, but then her reflection looks like at you in the camera. I was like, yo, that's dope. Wish it meant something.
Yeah,
like all the pieces were there.
I just like the way it looked. Dang, I can't believe I'm about to like it
was
most.
freaking amazing.
That's crazy.
Like, I do want to see like what her next movie is gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, now
like,
I'm interested
she did like a buddy comedy, like high school, like coming of age, and like that was pretty good, especially for like her first film. And then this is her second film, and stylistically, it is absolutely amazing. Like, I really want to see where she goes from here, you know?
That's why I was shocked too, because I hated Booksmart. Everyone go listen to our Booksmart episode. Hated Booksmart. So I was like, fuck this movie, but it was better than Booksmart, in my opinion. I would watch this one. I would never watch Booksmart again, but I would definitely watch this one. I'm sorry to the Booksmart enthusiasts. But I cannot. I'm not strong enough.
I like Booksmart, but that was more because it was more my genre than this movie was.
Humor. But it's a very specific type of humor.
Damn, it's gonna be a long episode. We can move on to FMF unless you guys have any closing thoughts about the movie. Want to give out your chest?
Nope.
Like, I feel like this movie, story-wise, probably... This is gonna sound really bad.
Say it!
Story-wise, it felt like Matrix Reloaded or whatever was it?
Yes.
Oh, I never saw it.
Regeneration. No, we did a review on it, didn't we? The newest one.
Oh,
Matrix.
we did?
Whatever. What in the crap was it called?
Shit.
I don't even remember what it was called. But we were just like, this is kind of stupid. But this one is prettier.
Yeah, way prettier. I don't even remember that Matrix.
Like, I could watch this movie and just like turn my brain off and be like, wow, this is gorgeous.
I like this movie. I'm about to go download that sus, scary, spooky ass soundtrack. Dude. And just get chills again. That shit was so good. Whoever did sound designing on this, Oscar.
Oh, I thought you were saying his name was Oscar.
No. Wouldn't that be awesome?
I need some sleep.
I don't know who it was, but I know. Funny. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, we'll finish this up soon. So we'll do FMF. There's not a whole lot of guys. Main guys, obviously, we have to do Harry Styles. Sorry.
And Chris Pine.
Chris Pine. We could do Nick Kroll.
Yeah, why not?
Could do. Okay.
Sure. Okay.
All white guys for this one.
There weren't that many people of color in this, though.
There were not. No. There was 2 husbands that were not
2
white.
Unnamed husbands.
They have names in the credits, but I don't remember their names.
Did they say their names ever?
I don't remember. They might have once. She might have been like, "This is my husband," duh, and that's it.
You had the
according
black girl
to IMDb,
that literally
there's
died.
Peter and Bill. I think were the husbands.
There's a husband named Ted also, and he's not white. Cause he's dating Kiki Lane. He was Kiki Lane's husband, and they're dating in real life. Right. Did you guys see that?
No, that's so cute though.
Isn't that cute? Yeah.
I couldn't get over the pregnant lady. I thought she was super funny, but she's also in the show A League of Our Own, and I was like, she's literally hilarious.
Oh, that's awesome. Good for her.
Like, she's so funny. Like, I need to see her in more things. Oh yeah, but FMF. I can't believe they killed the black woman first, though. I was like, really?
Literally,
okay, high key, when I saw her on screen and she like did her like, she was like, wait, but like, you guys don't even ask questions. And I was like, this is just another case of believe black women. Like, y'all be not believing these black women and shit be going down. Like, oh my god, just believe them, believe us. Come on. We're always the first
Period.
ones that end up having to, like, suffer and die, and then some white woman comes along and is able to actually survive and get out of it, and then she's, like, a hero.
Period. Say your piece.
I'm
It's
just
true.
saying.
It's facts.
I'm just freaking saying.
It's true. Because they really genuinely could have made anybody in this movie not white. All the white people they could have made not white, but they just didn't.
And,
do
like,
that.
Gemma Chan's character in this one was literally the exact same character in Crazy Rich Asians.
Really?
Yeah. She's the wife of a powerful husband who low-key sucks.
I
and tries to,
remember
like,
that.
keep her, and then she does the exact same thing at the end where she, like, liberates herself.
Oh, dang. I didn't even think about it like that, but you're right.
It's the same. Which, honestly, she plays it very well.
Yeah.
But yeah,
She's
okay.
powerful.
FMF.
Does anyone want to go first?
I thought it was funny that Nick Kroll was in this. Like, just
Me
in
too.
general.
And honestly, the kiss now makes more sense. Like, remember how Harry kissed Nick Kroll at the
I was like, oh.
and I was like, whatever. But now it makes
now,
sense
because they did the movie, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, like, I saw it and I was like, oh.
Oh, actually, cut this out. Maybe I was bothered so much by how Harry Styles kissed. He always like had.
Dude,
his
why
mouth
was his
open,
mouth like
and
that?
I was like,
Yeah.
bitch. Like, he kissed Nick Kroll better than he kissed Florence Pugh. I was like, sir,
Oh my god, he did.
get your shit together. Yeah, that was ugly to watch. Anyway, you can cut that out.
No, they kept
That
doing
being
that, like,
said-
weird, like, almost biting thing, and I was like, what are you doing?
Oh my god, I know. I was like,
I was like, is
thinks
this
he's
supposed
so
to be
hot,
cute?
but
Like, I'm so confused.
it was so ugly. Like,
Maybe this is for, like, people that are
wrong out.
actually, like, attracted to men, but,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
Goodbye. I know. I was like,
I was like, I'm not really, like, attracted like that
I
to people,
know.
so, like, well, I was like, that's so funny. Oh my god. Anyway, yeah, I was like, why is his mouth like that? Like, why are they doing that? Like, are you guys gonna just
why did they allow that?
just kiss? Just do it. Just kiss.
It was it was not hot. I would still fuck him though. Just don't kiss me, sir.
I did
But
think
I
it was
would
interesting that
fuck
all
him.
of the sex scenes were him going down on her, or like,
I think that was
Yeah.
there was only one.
I was like,
right?
that's interesting. There were 3.
It felt like more. It
There
felt like
was?
every time.
There was the
Yeah.
one like at the beginning of the movie when she's on the table, and then there was the one where he's fingering her in the room, and Chris Pine walks in and then like walks away, and says like don't say
yeah.
anything, and then they do it again. Another time, I just can't remember.
Oh man, I forgot that that's crazy.
But I thought it was interesting, so I was like, that's definitely like
Like he didn't
in
gotta stick
the
out.
frame of like when it comes to like women's pleasure, at least that like they actually showed more of that like angle of it than just like the dude like getting off, which I thought was interesting, especially if it's supposed to be like this reality where men are controlling women. But regardless, they don't
Female
show
gaze.
enough of women. Yeah, I was like, this is a very female gazy way of showing sex. But yeah.
I would fuck Harry, I would marry Chris, and I would friend zone Nick. Period.
Yeah. Same.
Ooh, I would.
Chris Pine's hot. He's always been hot.
He's fine.
Wasn't I the one that said, how are you going to have Chris Pine in a movie and call the other man handsome man?
Yeah, that was Wonder Woman.
This might be the one movie where it's like, okay, yeah, you can call him handsome man because it's Harry Styles, but like Chris Pine is still hot.
Handsome.
He's just so
Yeah.
pretty.
I would marry Chris Pine. I would fuck Nick Kroll, and I'd friend zone Harry Styles.
Ooh, controversial yet brave. Nick Kroll. Fuckable.
I'm dead.
Okay, work. His
No,
character,
he's not
or do
ugly.
you think he's hot?
No, mainly because I wouldn't want to fuck Harry Styles.
I was on the fence about that too, but I was like, damn, I really don't want to fuck Nick Kroll, so
Oh,
I feel that though. After
I
we
don't
talked about the
think I
kissing, I
really
was
have
like,
a preference like between the two of them, but Harry Styles is just more like aesthetically that's attractive to me.
he's like younger.
No.
Son.
His
Like,
character
yeah.
ruined him.
Dude,
Because so someone
his
posted.
vibe, I was like, bro, he's so
Yeah.
ugly.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Someone posted a meme about the movie yesterday, and I wish I saved it. I wished I saved it, but
Was
I
it the
didn't.
one where they put Lord Farquaad's head on?
No, but I saw that one too.
I saw that, yeah.
But someone basically said Harry Styles is the male version of Gaslight Gatekeep Girl Boss, which is
Literally.
Mansplain Manipulate Manwhore.
Ooh. I'm thinking.
Mansplain and manipulation.
I'm considering that.
Yeah. And I can't get that out of my head now.
I'm screaming.
I like
is
that.
yeah, wow, I like it.
Ooh. Yeah, that's good. I agree. Congrats to Harry Styles.
May I also mention my favorite headlines that came out from Harry Styles' acting in the two movies he's in, right?
Oh my god, yeah.
Dude, they literally titled them and just straight roasted this man. I was like, this is so funny. The first one I saw was because they were comparing his role in this movie to his role in My Policeman, and they titled their review, "There needs to be a citizen's arrest on Harry Styles' acting career." And then literally I saw another one and it was like, Harry Styles, an actor. What would make him a good one?
No.
I was like, y'all are going.
Bro.
Y'all are really hating on this man.
He will never live this down.
Which, like,
It's
I
over.
get, like, culturally, because he's so big, people are gonna be like, they're gonna go ham opposite-wise, just because so many people do, in fact, like him. It happens with, like, every celebrity that's really well-liked. They're gonna have really serious haters for, like, literally no reason. Just because they want to be different, you know?
And edgy.
Quirky. I'm not like the other girls.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I was like, wow. I didn't think it was that bad, but like, you know, whatever.
Second movie.
Like, he can cry pretty well. They should just only give him scenes where he's crying.
I thought the incel scenes were good.
Did not like his
those are
crying
creepy.
scenes. Those were my least favorite scenes of his.
Because I was like, he did them in Dunkirk too, and I was like, oh yeah, no, like, you can, like, they were like pathetic, you know, like his cry was pathetic, and I was like, but that's a good like cry. That means you're actually like sobbing.
Yeah.
Like in real life, when someone's crying really pathetically, like they're really upset.
Damn. I will never cry in front of you. Damn, that's pretty pathetic.
Oh my god.
Well, what would you guys rate this movie?
Like a 5. Maybe a 6.
I gave it a 6 purely because even without like having to like review it or anything, I was thinking about it all day. It was still painfully average.
That's fair.
But because I was thinking about it all day, I give it a 6.
It is really pretty, and honestly, Florence freaking killed.
Yeah.
Like, her acting is literally, like, I will watch
Oscar
it again
for Florence,
because
Oscar for
she
sound
did
design.
so well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, probably a 6.
Yeah, I'm gonna make history as rating it higher than you for the first time ever. I'm giving it 6.5. Oh my god. Because I don't know what it is about this movie. It's just weird in the correct ways, and I liked it, and it worked for me.
I do want more. Like, if they do more with this movie, then like I'd be so down.
So, do you guys have any recommendations for people who like this movie?
I do, actually.
Go for it.
I immediately thought of 3 movies, like,
Ooh,
leaving the
awesome.
theater, and I was like, oh, I have to write these down. And I think it's very interesting because 2 of them are 2005 movies with actresses that are very well known now. So Aeon Flux, which is with Charlize Theron, And it's pretty much like another thing where it's like she is trying to fight like these overlords or whatever. I don't know. It's like set in like a weird futuristic like science-y sci-fi like world, and basically like she doesn't have like all of her memories, and so like there's a twist with like her memories and like who actually is like evil and who's not evil, and it's interesting. And the fight scenes obviously are gorge, and it's Theron, so like, I mean, come on. The other one is called The Island, and that one actually has I think it's Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson.
No way! I gotta
Mm-hmm.
see it.
And it's also 2005, and it's basically like they are a bunch of people that live on this like they basically live on this in this place where like everything's taken care of for them, and they just kind of like live their life. And then every year there's like a lottery or something, and one person gets chosen to go to like an island that's supposed to be like absolute paradise, and they no longer have to work and everything. But it turns out that like the island is not exactly what it seems to be. And when Scarlett Johansson's character gets chosen to go to the island, Ewan McGregor has to figure out how to stop it and save his like best friend.
That's a good recommendation. I forgot about that movie, but that's a good one.
And then the other one was The Matrix, but like the first one.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I was gonna recommend The Matrix too. The other one, there are two more. The first is M. Night Shyamalan's The Village.
Ooh.
And that's just basically it follows this. I forget who's in it, but it follows this girl around her village, and it's like Amish. Or you think it's like pretty much set way back, like kind of during that time. And there's like a monster that's hunting like the people around, like it's like keeping them in the village essentially. And she goes out to stop it, and then at the end she finds out that the village is pretty much like essentially almost like an Amish settlement, that they were just using this monster to keep people in the village and not experience outside world, which was, you know, modern day. And the other one that I recommend, which is more just for like, it has the same vibes, is Nope.
Oh yeah,
Dude,
I
Nope
honestly
is so
yeah,
good.
I feel like there was some similar vibe things
Yeah.
happening there.
Dude, the spectacle part, like that definitely stylistically. Dude, so good.
And soundtrack wise, I think they've got similar soundtracks.
Yeah, that's fair too, yeah. I just thought of a few more. You technically could also watch like Maze Runner and the Divergent like series. As far as like they're telling you that not like it's one thing that's happening, but that it's actually like a front for another thing. That's fine. If you want to read a good book though, there's a book by Marie Lu that's like more video gamey and similar vibes. Damn, I'm really forgetting what it's called. It's like so good. Warcross.
Ooh.
I think that's just I think it's a duology. It's 2 books. But that's the first one. That was pretty good.
Okay.
And like, you know, Asian main character and Asian writer and female author. So, you know, check her out. I think we will start a reading list because I like randomly will remember books that are similar to movies and be like, ooh, that's a good one. So maybe we'll start a reading list and you guys can check that out.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna start a
I've got
Patreon.
book
I'm gonna
recommendations.
just announce that right now. We are gonna start a Patreon. So if you guys want to DM us at any time and tell us some things that you would like for us to put on our Patreon, if you are willing to check us out on Patreon, that would be much appreciated. But you can definitely expect like bonus episodes, like bonus content, like reading lists and like movie diaries and stuff like that.
I have one that I was going to recommend. Although I haven't seen it. When I was telling my friends I was going to go see Don't Worry Darling, they're like, it's just off-brand Stepford Wives. And I was like, what's Stepford Wives? Have you guys seen that?
No.
It's pretty much like basically the same movie where wives are being like, well, I haven't seen the movie, but the premise is like it's like a 50s sort of town. The wives tending to the men, whatever. And then one of the wives is like, it's Stepford. It's like not a real city. And she's like, there's something weird going on. And it eventually, I'm pretty sure it's like a fake. I think it's kind of like The Village sort of. I think there's a Stephen King like book or premise about that too, where it's like a separate town and they're just being held there. So
creepy.
Yeah. So and that's like an older movie. So
yeah, I've heard of it. I
want to
literally just haven't watched it yet.
I've heard of it. I definitely thought it was something else entirely.
Me too. I thought it was gonna be like Gilmore Girls, and I was like,
yeah,
fuck that shit.
Stepford Wives. That made me think of like Beguiled or something. I was like, was really like a period piece.
Yeah.
1600s.
It's pretty much this movie. So check it out if you like this movie. You might like that one, and you might like it better. I'm definitely gonna check it out. I just didn't have time between yesterday and today. Yeah.
All right.
That's all I got.
Dope. Well, we've come to the end of this podcast. We definitely enjoyed talking about Don't Worry, Darling, and we hope that you guys enjoy listening. Go ahead and subscribe to wherever you listen to podcasts. Definitely DM us about things that you would like to see on our Patreon, which will be coming out soon. So keep an eye out for that. Follow us on Instagram at Femme Noir Podcast. We're also on TikTok and Pinterest, so you can follow us there too. Same handle. And I don't think I have anything else for you guys. So yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. And we'll see. Well, not see you, but we'll
talk.
We'll talk. We'll talk to you again in the next one. Bye.
Bye.